Good afternoon and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Ogwa Vivian Onyedibia. We begin with a report that President Muhammadu Buhari is reassuring Nigerians that there is absolutely nothing to worry about as a result of the recent defection by the Benue State Governor and some members of the National Assembly from the APC. Addressing members of the Nigerian community in Togo, the president emphatically stated that he is not in any way bothered. State House correspondent Damu Sambu reports.
This is the first time President Muhammadu Buhari is visiting the Republic of Togo since coming to power, and therefore another opportunity to hear from Nigerians in the diaspora and bring them up to speed on developments at home. Without mincing words, the Nigerian leader told the people that given the hopeless, hapless and worrisome situation inherited over 3 years ago, the governing APC deserves extolment for its remarkable resilience in the pursuit and enhancement of public good.
I assure you that we have made some progress in the three things our great party promised: security, economy, and fighting corruption. If you want to know if you have a friend in the Northeast, write to him. He will tell you that they have gone back to their farms now. I myself have gone as far as Monguno, which used to be occupied by Boko Haram, and we have invested so much in agriculture. I give you soft loans through the Ministry of Agriculture and the bigger loans through the Central Bank, and we have no regrets. Not everybody is paying back, but we are almost reaching food security. We have stopped importation rice by more than 90%. Rice alone. I assure you, relative to the resources available to us, we have performed.
Responding to a question raised by the APC leader in Togo on the issue of defection from the party, President Buhari maintains that he is not in any way perturbed.
I assure you, I'm not bothered about people who are leaving the party. I believe majority of ordinary Nigerians have developed confidence in us. What we are doing now in infrastructure, if the previous governments have used 25% of what they earn to do the roads, the rail, and power properly, Nigerians would have mind their own businesses. They wouldn't even care what the government was doing. They would mind their own business. But I think because God wills that they will be punished here before they meet him there, they forgot to do anything on the infrastructure. The administration along the line said they spent $16 billion, not Naira, to do the power. Why is it? That's why Nigerians haven't forgotten NEPA. They still call it NEPA. We are doing it, and we are reporting them to Nigerians virtually on a daily basis. Whoever is caught, we will certainly punch them eventually.
Speaker after speaker at the interactive session were full of enthusiastic praise for the unprecedented achievements recorded by the Buhari administration so far, thereby rekindling the hope, confidence and trust of Nigerians in governors.
He has made a positive change in our lives. Nigeria of today is no longer Nigeria of yesteryears. Every kobo spent is accounted for. So we say thank you for inculcating that spirit of discipline in our lives. And transparency.
Nigerians are going to reward you comes 2019, so that the good work you are doing, you will complete it. The work you are doing to expose the corruption in our country today, you will do it, we will support you, and our generation will not forget you.
Nigerian ambassador to Togo, Joseph Olushola Aji, told President Buhari that the nearly 2 million Nigerians in the West African country are not only highly disciplined and peaceful, but earn their living legitimately. From Lome, the Republic of Togo, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
On talking politics, the current crisis rocking the Benue State House of Assembly has continued to deepen as there are claims and counterclaims of suspension by two groups. Godwin Inalego reports that one of the latest development is the threat of notice of impeachment to be served on Governor Samuel Otom. We'll bring you details in our subsequent bulletin. Meanwhile, the Speaker, Kano State House of Assembly, Yusuf Abdullahi Atta, has been impeached and replaced with Kabiru Al-Hassan Rurum from Rano constituency. Kabiru Al-Hassan was the Deputy Speaker before his assumption of office as Speaker, while Hamisu Ibrahim Chidera from Makoda constituency was nominated as Deputy Speaker. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has held an All Progressives Congress stakeholders meeting in Oro, Iripedun local government area of Kwara State, with a view to strengthening the party's presence and hold in the state. A statement by the minister indicates that part of the resolution of the meeting is the immediate dissolution of the Balogun Fulani-led Kwara APC Executive Committee and a fresh Congress be held for party members just coming in at various levels to constitute a new executive. Also, those appointed by DISIT and hiding under the facade of being party stalwarts should immediately resign such appointments or be fired. The recent gale of defections, according to the minister, has put the All Progressives Congress in a position of true majority in the National Assembly, as those remaining are truly committed to the party's ideal. All members and supporters of the APC in Kwara State have restated their unflinching support for President Muhammadu Buhari and assured him of a harvest of votes from the state in the 2019 general elections. Lai Mohammed further called on the APC stalwarts, members and supporters to remain calm as there is no cause for alarm. And the leadership of the Sustainable National Party, SNP, has urged Nigerians to remain calm and shun violence under any guise as being exhibited by desperate politicians. This was at the party's National Executive Council held in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
SNP, the time is now.
The NEC meeting resolved, among other issues, that Nigeria is one indivisible entity and the people should focus on doing the right things to ensure the prosperity of the nation.
We urge Nigerians to focus on the issues of good governance, social justice, and accountability.
National chairman of the party, Kayode Arimoro, said they are not in alliance with any political party.
We have checked carefully, we've been contacted, we've been consulted, but there's something we want to do. We are building an institution. We must understand our culture. We must understand our ideology. Our partnership is more with the people.
The NEC meeting further enjoined Nigerians at home and in the diaspora to join hands in the nation's quest towards national rebirth. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
Ahead of the 2019 general elections, the Nigerian Police Force says it is ready to improve its communication strategy to achieve a crime-free society. This was the submission of the Inspector General of Police when he granted audience to stakeholders under the auspices of the Nigerian Policing Program.
So I want to equally let you know that the outcome of your work is going to be a basis for the operational initiative of the community policing re-engagement program that have been directed by the federal government and which we have been embarking upon, because we discovered that we can't do it alone. The public have partner, veritable partner in ensuring that the society is safe, especially in this era of insecurity that is being witnessed in some part of the country.
So for us within the MPP, what we're looking at doing is assisting the police to map its various nodal points for communication. Apart from the public relations, we know that there are other points that communicate, that have the responsibility of communicating on behalf of the police.
The Force Public Relation Officer, Jimo Moshood, says the police is not resting on its oars towards a free crime society. The federal government has assembled 1,000-strong military force comprising the Army, Air Force, police and the civil defense to launch fierce attacks on the bandits terrorizing the villages and towns of Zamfara State. Following directives by President Muhammadu Buhari, the Nigerian Air Force has begun the deployment of fighter aircraft to Katsina, the airport with the closest proximity to Zamfara State, to make for immediate and effective response to the menace of the bandits. This had not been possible in the past because there was no fuel depot facility in Katsina, but NAF has devised a way around the problem. The president has also authorized the engagement by NAF of advanced satellite surveillance technology to help in accurate detection of movement and locations of the bandits. Sequel to the directive from the president at the weekend, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, was in Gusau, where he met the deputy governor of the state. The Chief of Air Staff reiterated the president's pledge that he would never abandon victims of attacks to their fate, reaffirming that security remains one of the cardinal pillars of his campaign promises, and no leader will be happy to see his own citizens killed by criminal groups across the country. The presidency therefore appeals to all Nigerians to unite and speak with one voice on security issues and urges politicians to stop exploiting national security challenges. A statement by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, urges members of the Nigerian media to avoid unhelpful and deadly sensationalism in the coverage of events that border on national security. Meanwhile, the Air Force Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has successfully conducted a massive attack on Tungule village, 9 kilometers southwest of Dikwa in Borno State. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Vice Marshal Olatokunbo Adesonya, indicates that the successful air strikes were sequel to credible intelligence reports which indicated that several Boko Haram terrorists were regrouping at the location, having occupied the entire village. Receiving the intelligence, the Air Task Force deployed NAF Alpha jet aircraft and Mi-35M helicopter gunships, which attacked structures occupied by the Boko Haram terrorists in the location. And as a result of the airstrikes, several Boko Haram terrorists were neutralized, while the few survivors seen fleeing were taken out in subsequent follow-up attacks, resulting to colossal battle damage assessment. And Lagos State Governor orders shutdown of illegal tanker terminals. These and other stories with Hingino in our Lagos Network Center. It's over to you.
Thank you, Vivian, and welcome to Lagos. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has ordered the immediate shutdown of a bonded terminal in Ajegunle, where tankers relocated to after they were ordered out of the main Apapa Wharf Road. This was during an assessment of the gridlock in the area. Nosa Osula has details.
Governor Ambode, who directed the immediate closure of the terminal and other adjoining blocks, also ordered the immediate evacuation of trucks parked around the terminal within the next 24 hours.
I will not allow anything you have called bonded terminal to reside in a residential area. From this moment, I shut this place down, and all the agencies concerned take my instructions. I do not want to ever see this place opened again, including all the other places that they have put the terminals, including all the other places that they have procured whatever. I will not authorize any place that is residential as a bonded terminal.
The governor stated that trucks parked on single-lane roads in the Ajegunle axis is subjecting residents to long hours in traffic and making them susceptible to criminal activities of street urchins.
As far as Lagos State government is concerned, Ajegunle remains a residential area. I have cross-checked from all my ministries and the officials. There is no approval from the fiscal planning for you guys to use this old neighborhood, which is residential, as a bonded terminal.
Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo had earlier assured residents that the anticipated reconstruction of the Apapa-Oshodi Expressway would commence within the next 2 weeks as part of the federal government's resolve to finding lasting solution to the chaos in the Apapa axis. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
NAPTIP continues its awareness against human trafficking. Mina in Port Harcourt has this and other reports from the Port Harcourt zone. Hello there.
Hello, Hinjino. Good afternoon and welcome to Port Harcourt. The National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking Persons, NAPTIP, has joined the global community to mark this year's International Day Against Human Trafficking with a sensitization rally in Port Harcourt. Onengie Fineface has the report.
The sensitization rally seeks to create awareness on actions and conditions that constitute trafficking in persons. Some of these actions include employment of children under 12 years as domestic workers, employment of children under 18 years to do exploitative, injurious or hazardous jobs, and the use of any person as a slave. Other actions that constitute trafficking in persons include removal, buying or selling of human organs, and promotion of prostitution in foreign travels.
Sales of baby and child abuse and child labor. That is what we predominantly have here in Rivers State. So we are now educating the public that they should open their eyes and look out for these traffickers so that they won't fall victims.
The rally also draws attention to the physical, social, emotional, and psychological effects of child abuse and molestations. The National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, supported by National Youth Corps members and other agencies, distributed leaflets and flyers to sensitize members of the public. In Port Harcourt, Onengie Fineface, NTA News.
Director General, National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Suleiman Kazure, has advised corps members deployed to Rivers State to take advantage of a skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development program, SAID, initiated by the NYSC to improve their lives. Brigadier General Suleiman gave the advice while addressing the 2018 batch B Stream 1 corps members at the Permanent Orientation Camp, Nawabam Tai, Local Government Council. Emmanuel Lene has the report.
Brigadier General Suleiman Kazure, who was at the camp to have a first-hand knowledge of challenges facing corps members in Rivers State, charged them to be of good conduct as well as take advantage of the SAID program introduced by the NYSC and contribute a quota to national development.
I don't want my children to be running about from one place to another looking for a job that's not there. Pay attention to SAID program. Empower yourself with necessary skills so that you can be self-reliant.
He urged employers of labor in Rivers State not to reject corps members posted to them as they are part of unity and national integration.
There's a circular from federal government that no corps employer should reject corps members. There's no justification for anybody to reject the corps member.
The event featured dance by the NYSC cultural troupe. Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
While authorities of the Nigerian Navy are increasing policing of the nation's waterways against associated criminalities, criminal kingpins are receiving greater support and impetus to perpetrate their crimes. In less than 48 hours after personnel of Navy ship Pathfinder clamped down on an illegal refining site in Alakiri, Rivers State, a new set of operators reactivated operations at the site. Onengie Fineface once again reports.
The Nigerian Navy ship Pathfinder on Monday, 23rd July, arrested 7 suspects involved in illegal crude refining within the Alakiri Creek in Rivers State. The suspects took responsibility for their actions and hinted that they work in syndicated formations for sponsors in Rivers and Bayelsa states.
Just went there to load 300 naira for one drone. Then a number of people that work with me, then we share the money.
Just a day after their arrest, a new set of illegal refiners renewed operations at the same location unaware that naval personnel will revisit the area. New metal pipes were already being reconstructed at the site, with pumping machines were installed. Naval authorities see this as a disturbing trend, but assured of sustained surveillance and policing of the waterways to contain the illegality in that area.
One of the sponsors of this criminal act is an acclaimed man of God in a renowned church in Bayelsa. We believe that at the end of this investigation, we would have gotten a lot of information that would help us to bring these criminal activities completely to its lowest ebb, particularly in Rivers State maritime space.
Continued illegal refining has also increased the pollution of the creek and destroyed mangrove vegetation in the area. In Port Harcourt, Onengiye Fineface, NTA News.
And that's a bit from Port Harcourt. It's back to you, Ogwa, for a continuation of Nationwide. Thank you, Mina. It's good to see you. And still in Port Harcourt, the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State has set modalities towards winning the forthcoming 2019 presidential and governorship elections in the state. The party leaders in the state therefore appealed to their supporters to shun violence and get their permanent voter cards to enable them vote during the elections. To this end, Free Rivers Development Program Initiative has been inaugurated with a view of campaigning for the party.
We don't have members in Rivers State, and they will tell us that APC is not on ground. Far. As APC members, we have a duty. As Rivers people, we have a duty. We need to protect and fight for our state.
Now, if you have 5,880 persons working for APC in all the units in Port Harcourt local government, and they take it as a point of duty on their own to capture at least 10 persons by person. That means in the next 1 or 2 months, we should be having at least 100 persons per unit. And if you multiply 100 by 580 units, you'll be having 58,000 persons.
You're watching Nationwide. We'll take a break now. We have more news after the break. Hey. Thank you for staying tuned. 20 Nigerian youths are being equipped in solar installation towards making them become self-reliant and meeting the energy needs of the nation. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday reports that the training is jointly provided by the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, and Cornell University, USA.
The 20 participants were selected from 833 applicants nationwide, 10 of them male and the other 10 female. After a brief orientation, they proceeded to the Solar Power Demonstration Center.
The inverter charge controller charges the battery. The economic growth and empowerment program of the government is to give economic growth to young Nigerians. And this is what exactly it is doing. So working with them for the next 6 months so that we can monitor them to make sure that these ones are different from the roadside installers.
We have been made agent of change, and it will start from us, then to our families, our communities, and to Nigeria at large.
We appreciate this reach out, in fact, this empowerment, and we really, really want to say thank you to the President.
Apart from empowering the beneficiaries, the program is also aimed at ending energy poverty in Nigeria. Toko Village, a suburb of the Federal Capital Territory, will be the first community to benefit.
46 years. In that way, we don't have water, as we don't get borehole now. This solar engineering, solar borehole. I think you can help us for that so that our problem will save. Sickness will not come back for us.
Development partners promise to follow up the participants until they can stand on their own.
In both an understanding on how to build as well as maintain renewable energy systems, solar.
Every cell phone you see have its own power package. So should every structure have their own power package. And that's what we are pushing to do.
Organizers urge Nigerians to go for solar energy because it is reliable, cost-effective and renewable. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Sultan Saad visit victims of Tabani attack in Rabah local government of Sokoto State. Details of this with Nura in our Sokoto Network Center. It's over to you.
Thank you, Ogba, and welcome to Sokoto. Victims of Tabani bandits attack in Rabah local government have been asked to be honest and report anyone with suspicious character to the constituted authority. Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar made the call when he visited Gandhi to commiserate with victims of the attack that claimed many lives and rendered many homeless. Sheikh Muhammad Detti completes the story.
Briefing the Sultan on the situation at the camp, Secretary of Rabah Local Government Aminu Abubakar Gawo said the population still stands at 4,996. According to him, there were 30 deliveries at the camp and social amenities have been provided that include 26 toilet water system and the needed facilities. The Secretary informed the Sultan that majority of the victims are from Tabani and Aliki villages, while the remaining are seeking refuge for the fear of unknown. He said even though the victims have expressed fear of going back to their villages, with the security situation now, those willing to go back can be returned in 2 weeks. The victims, however, call on the authorities concerned to relocate them to a safer place, saying there is the need for air surveillance at the villages. Sympathizing with the victims, Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar admonished them not to be scared of anyone with questionable character. While praying for the reposed soul of the departed among them, the Sultan pledged to do everything within his power to ensure that authorities concerned address the lingering attacks. The Sultan commended the state government, individuals and other voluntary organizations for their contributions to the displaced persons. Sultan Muhammad Saad had earlier before the visit sent donation of 200 bags of rice to the victims. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
Statistics shows that about 20 million Nigerians are infected with chronic hepatitis B annually. Dr. Abubakar Sadiq Mayaki of Usmanu Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto, disclosed this at the free screening and awareness campaign to commemorate the 2018 World Hepatitis Day held in Sokoto. Abrahman Osman Jibrila has more.
The 28th of July every year has been set aside by the World Health Organization to commemorate World Hepatitis Day in order to create awareness on dangers associated with the disease. The theme for this year's celebration is Eliminate Hepatitis, Find the Missing Millions. Currently, 300 million people across the world hardly know that they are living with hepatitis unless detected and treated, with about 1 million deaths recorded annually worldwide. The state chairman, Society for Gastroenterology and Hepatology in Nigeria, Usmanu Danfodio University Teaching Hospital Sokoto chapter, Dr. Abubakar Sadiq Mayaki, said hepatitis is a virus that causes inflammation of the liver and can cause liver cells damage, leading to cirrhosis and cancer. Dr. Mayaki added that hepatitis disease has been categorized into different types.
What we intend to achieve is to do a lot of public campaigns for people to be aware that this disease is with us. It is endemic or hyper-endemic, if I may even say, in Nigeria. And we need to know that it is with us and we need to take adequate precaution.
He disclosed that the best way for prevention is to go for testing. There was free screening on hepatitis at the event. In Sokoto, Abraham Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from this end. Let's now join Ogochukwuka in Benin for more Nationwide. Good to see.
Nura in Sokoto, thank you for joining us. Edo State government has announced a 40% reduction in monthly market levy for major markets in Benin. Governor Godwin Obaseki made the announcement when he met with leaders of Market Women Association. Goodluck Enaini reports.
The women were in Government House to meet with the governor to discuss issues affecting them negatively. One of such is the market levy, which the traders say is too high. Setting the tone for discussion, Governor Obaseki described the women as key players in nation building. Therefore, their activities are important to the economic growth of the country, and the state in particular. He expressed his administration's effort in enhancing their economic fortunes. He assured the women that government will not return to the old ways where traders were made to pay all manner of levies without proper accountability.
He asked for reduction in the fees charged by local government on some markets from 5 to 3,000. I am granting that now.
President, Market Women Association Edo State Chapter, Blackie Ogiame, thanked the governor for initiating people-oriented programs and urged him not to be distracted.
We'd like to salute you for the culture of cleanliness, which you incorporated in residents of Edo State, which has made the state one of the cleanest in the country.
In Benin, good luck in NT News.
Some portions of the Benin-Agbo Expressway are in bad shapes. Abuja reports that motorists and traders are raising concerns over the negative impact on them.
Some of the motorists complained of the man-hour lost while negotiating the failed portions. Most drivers, they say, now drive one way, thereby posing danger to other road users.
It's a real disaster. We spend the whole day here every day. The risk here is something else.
We know the zero they pass. At the bypass, some of the motorists also said some of the broken down vehicles are worsening the condition of the road.
So we beg the government, federal or state, anyone where be say na in dey in charge, make them do something, help us from here.
I've been suffering this road for more than 8 years. At times in the midnight, our vehicle will break down here. Everything will just point, the propeller will break. Every time, every day, we don't know what to do.
People are suffering. Every rainfall to go house is problem.
Officials of the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, in their reaction, appealed to motorists to be patient as the agency is working to find solutions.
It's a continuity of the intervention program that we've been doing right from late last year. We have some other places which we have earmarked for direct labor, which the work is also going on, like the bypass. Hopefully, as soon as allocation comes, we are going to embark on all those ones.
The road along the Benin-Agbo axis of the expressway is a major gateway to the east. In Benin, Adogbeji Ojegba, NTA News.
And now religious matters. Christian women in Benin have been praying for peaceful coexistence in the country. This was at the 30th Covenant Women Conference presided over by the National President, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, Reverend Felix Omobude. Bukola Urubusi reports.
The women prayed for the 3 tiers of government, religious bodies, and for peaceful coexistence. They say meaningful development cannot thrive in an atmosphere of bitterness. The President, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, Reverend Felix Omobude, in his exhortation, enjoined the congregation to have faith in Nigeria, irrespective of their party affiliation, and called on women to step up their faith as the country needs credible leaders that will take the country to an enviable height.
We want the women of this nation to step up their influence upon the nation and begin to take more position, visible position in leadership.
The wife of the Edo State Governor, Bessie Obaseki, and other key players enjoined Nigerians not to lose hope in the country.
Whatever God says is true. Whatever God says, He will do. If you don't believe that, then you can't call yourself a Christian.
Because of the presence of the Holy Spirit that is still on earth, we shall surely blossom.
God has promised us the best, and that best He will give unto us.
The gathering is aimed at building and equipping women in the things of God. In Benin, Bukola Urubusi, NTA News.
We return to Abuja. Ogwa, back to you.
Thank you, Ogochukwuka. It's time to take another break now. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
Fake news.
NationWide continues now. The head of service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, has urged civil servants to perform their duties with passion and ensure they retire with dignity. Mrs. Oyoita made the call at a cocktail party in honor of retired permanent secretaries drawn from various ministries of the Federation in Abuja. Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
Whatever has a beginning has an end, and retirement is a time many civil servants do not look forward to. Applauding outgoing permanent secretaries from different ministries of the Federation for their hard work and dedication to duty, Mrs. Oyoita emphasized that what matters is how it ends.
To tell the world that we are very proud of our retired permanent secretaries, that they have served this nation honorably, they have put in a lot of, they have achieved a lot for the service and for the nation.
Some of the retired permanent secretaries said they give glory to God and thanks to their colleagues for the opportunity they had.
It was full of excitement. It had its ups and downs, and having emerged from the service meritoriously, now that I realize that having put in 33 years and 7 months in service, I'm a bundle of experience.
I have served this nation for the first 35 years, and I wasn't expecting any appreciation from anybody apart from my pension and gratuity. But today, when I was called in the name of appreciating, I saw my colleagues, my everything, I was given a token gift by the head of service. The token gift is not what matters. What matters is what she has said about us.
Service is wonderful, and we must continue to encourage those who are in the service, because the service, as it were, is dynamic, is resilient, and is very productive.
There was an award presentation for meritorious service to their fatherland. The outgoing permanent secretaries urged civil servants to always carry out their duty with passion and within the extant rules. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NT News.
Raising the standard for issue-based reportage and content development is on the front burner of a capacity-building workshop for staff of NTA Lafia News Department. Bilikisu Umar Gurku tells us more.
Beyond its 40 years of broadcasting for nation building, the NTA is repositioning as a player in the industry. In promoting this ideal, Muhammad Ali, in charge of reportorial desks at the NTA headquarters, shares experiences and perspectives from news coverage to production and presentation. The expectation is to promote productivity in line with the mandate of management. General Manager of NTA Lafia, Hamza Musa Makarfi, commends the News Directorate for sustaining trends in broadcast journalism. Newly appointed Director General, Strategic Communication and Press Affairs to Governor Al-Makura, says the training is a welcome development.
But what NTA, the Nigerian Television Authority, has always stood for, from so many years that I have known its establishment, is substance and intellect, aesthetic density, and the resonance of saying what you're doing must be professional. And this is what they're trying to do in NTA Live.
We want to see a paradigm shift. We want to see better reportage. We want to see good composition. We want to see good storytelling. We want to see precise and accurate reportage.
Participants promise to project the knowledge by improving productivity. In Lafia, Bilkisu Umar Gurku, NTA News.
And a book, Where the Rain Started Beating Us, which chronicles Nigeria's potentials and deviations that stalled her achievements, has been presented to the public. It was a position that many at the occasion not only concurred with but also suggested going back to the basics. Kunle Adeyeye tells us more.
The book Where the Rain Started Beating Us chronicles the pre-colonial and colonial periods of the Igbos and identifies how their values have been eroded through Western influence. This situation eventually extends to other ethnic groups in other parts of the country. The book reviewer and Deputy Registrar of Customary Court of Appeal, Enugu, Ihebuna Oji, describes the book as a masterpiece of literary work that will promote ideals and values of the Igbo land.
The book chronicles the Igbo tradition, and yes, it's trying to revive it. The presentation also calls for the awakening of literary consciousness.
Though he spent about 26 years of his life putting this together, in my own estimation,
And I can say this authoritatively, he's come up with a very, very well-documented treatise and literary work.
This book, Where the Rain Started Beating Us, is a sequence. It's telling us where we were, what happened, where we got it wrong. And if you look at it critically with what is happening now in Nigeria and the global community, there are lots of similarities.
Author of the book, Ugochukwu Agbala, a lawyer and former commissioner for works and transport in Enugu State, stresses the need to revive the much cherished African traditions and beliefs that have almost gone into extinction.
My home take is to show that even before the white man came, there was an ethnic intercourse between all the tribes. There were exchanges of business and visits. It was the white man that brought a political system that made us to know our differences.
The 363-page book is the first published work of the author. In Abuja, Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
And guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria are calling for sanctions on ECOWAS member states that are violating the ECOWAS Protocol on Free Movement and Trade. The guest stated this in the wake of Ghana's latest eviction order to foreign traders, which many say is targeting Nigerians who constitute majority of traders in Ghana. Lydia Sampson has the report.
A recent notice of eviction by the Ghanaian Ministry of Trade and Industry stipulates that a person who is not a citizen or an enterprise which is not wholly owned by Ghanaian citizens shall not invest or participate in the sales of goods or provisions of services in the market and shall not engage in petty trading or hawking or selling of goods in a stall at any place. Though Nigeria and Ghana are signatories to the ECOWAS Protocol on Free Movement, the latest eviction order leaves much to be desired. The guests say the continuous harassment of Nigerian traders in Ghana is contrary to the spirit of Pan-Africanism, which past Ghanaian leaders like Kwame Nkrumah stood for.
The other is that we should move out of the market. We should provide $1 million as a trade capital. That we should not, we must employ 20 Ghanaian skilled workers minimum. And that is what we find to be very difficult at achieving.
We have nothing less than 8 million Nigerians who are in Ghana trading, doing legitimate business.
The eviction order at the moment has been suspended, but experts say this is not enough, as it could have been an afterthought ahead of Ghana's bid for some ECOWAS positions in the current meeting in Togo. They say a permanent solution must be reached to avoid retaliatory actions from other countries.
On the whole, it is time for Nigeria to renegotiate, to call for the renegotiation of the complete treaty, of the complete ECOWAS treaty, number one. Number two, it is time for Nigeria to think of what it is spending in hosting ECOWAS Commission, ECOWAS Parliament, and all the ECOWAS institutions.
Attempt to have a peaceful resolution in terms of managing this conflict when they arise. The text also put in place modalities for addressing the issues when there's conflict by parties.
The guys also noted that Ghana's recurring eviction orders not only contravene ECOWAS Free Movement Protocol, but also counterproductive to regional integration. ECOWAS is already investigating the matter for amicable resolution. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Let's now join Uche Ugochukwu for highlights of more stories trending on the international scene.
You're welcome. Voters' turnout in Zimbabwe's first general election since long-serving ruler Robert Mugabe was ousted is adjourned high. Foreign observers describe the election as an opportunity for Zimbabwe to break with its repressive past. The presidential election is seen as a tight contest between the incumbent Emmerson Mnangagwa and his main rival, Nelson Chamisa. The High Court in Johannesburg has set aside the International Relations Department's decision to grant Grace Mugabe diplomatic immunity. The former Zimbabwean First Lady allegedly assaulted a lady at a hotel in August last year, but was allowed to leave the country without being prosecuted. The presidents of Somalia and Eritrea have signed an agreement to establish diplomatic ties, a joint declaration on brotherly relations signed in Asmara by Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki and his Somalia counterpart Abdullahi Mohammed, shows the two countries will establish diplomatic relations and exchange ambassadors. Finally, officials in California warn that the current wildfire is getting larger despite thousands of firefighters battling it. They said erratic wind and dry conditions caused the car fire to grow early on Sunday, killing about 6 people. That does it from here. I am Uche Ugochukwu. The news continues.
And talking sports now, NFF leadership case adjourned in Jos as workers complete finishing touches at Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba, for Africa Athletics Championship. Let's hear from Amanzi Marcus on Sports Update.